Do it. Do it. Do it.
Do what?
Do it. You're live. You're live.
Let's see if we're live. What's up, Facebook? Can you guys hear us?
Hello, Facebook.
The mic is here.
Hello, Facebook.
Hi, Insta. How are you guys today? Just waiting till this 0 viewers on Facebook pops up to at least 1 viewer. Let's see. It's like all of a sudden it happens.
Taylor Shackleton.
There we go. 18. Okay. Hi, Taylor. Good morning. Morgan, Laura. Say hello, as always. Love to see who we have on. Hi, Instagram.
Jill Brown's in the house.
Jill Brown is always in the house. She's my girl. Jill Brown in the house with the Whole Fit logo. She's going to post links as we go today. So good to have you join us.
Yeah, I'm still in recovery.
Not to put you on the spot or anything, but do you want to share in a compliant way the oils you've been using to heal?
Well, the other morning, for the second time this week, I came down with let's just say it rhymes with moo, like symptoms.
This is how men share doTerra compliantly.
Anyways,
it rhymes with moo.
I knew right away to get on the program, and of course you helped me out with that a lot as well. And I don't know, you might want to share later in the links what happened, but if anyone knew the symptoms of a flu, I had the
moo.
Yeah,
moo.
We'll edit that out later. With our editing team, we'll edit that out later. I had the symptoms kept coming down of like the sore legs and my bones were sore and everything else like that. And I just come home from work the other morning, and the minute I walked in the door, it just hit me. And you had put me on the whole program. Of course, I love
that we got you on the program.
I knew a little bit myself too. Like you just kind of helped me out a bit. No,
but the thing I do find with you and maybe with men in the house is I have to keep on you and reminding you to get your bottles out, right? Because you tend to want to just hit it with 10 different oils, 10 drops each. And that's not what you do, right?
Well, I feel good right now.
My mom's on Instagram. This is the best moment ever.
Anyways, I felt, good morning. I felt a lot better this morning, I guess, just lots of fluids. And like I said, you can share what.
All right, let's go through the oils real quick. So oregano touch, rolled on the feet 2 to 3 times a day.
Right.
Powerhouse. Aroma touch blend, which I'm going to talk about today, is so amazing. Just when the system's starting to feel overwhelmed. So I'll talk about that in a moment, because BOGO, it's the BOGO today. Then On Guard. So gargle, swallow, or apply topically, like the On Guard touch. Lots of lemon water.
Yeah, I just drank like a fiend.
We don't have your big jug up here. What's it called? What's the brand?
Oh.
Yeti? No, not Yeti.
No, not Yeti. Corkicle. I can go get it.
Corkicle. And it's like
Let me go get
2 liters. It's so huge. And how many of you have been drinking of those a day? 2 to 3. Like tons of water with high limonene going through the system. As we've mentioned on prior broadcasts, we have an infrared sauna in our home. So we've been going in once or twice a day just for 20-minute bursts. And what else did I want to mention? Epsom salt baths. I mean, the way you heal a man cold is kind of the same as the way you might heal from anything else. It just takes, just comes with a little more drama.
Right here, guys. This is what I was drinking from for the last, 2 days?
This thing is how do you even hold this? Corksicle.
And exactly.
Thank
you so much.
They have one that's unicorn color though, that I've ordered.
Yeah, well, if anyone's looking for this, maybe Jill can put up in the link.
Whatever unicorn color is.
Yeah, westshoresurf.com. It's a friend of mine's store. That's where I got it from.
I feel like
I know I'm not one to plug stuff, but I will definitely plug this place.
She's probably on Instagram watching.
It's a local surf shop in Kincardine. It's West Shore Surf. And I still haven't paid for that yet. So if she is watching, I think probably me plugging it is probably worth 50% off. So if that doesn't work, I will pay for you. I will get it from you. I will pay you soon.
Coming soon.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, where do I want to start here? So this is the kind of week a lot of people wait for, right? Those of you in doTerra land know what I'm going to say here, but because we kind of have BOGO on the brain this week, there's a lot of sharing going on about essential oils. If you're on this live right now and you don't know about doTerra, you're about to learn. You're probably going to fall in love this week. It's BOGO week. Buy one, get one, and doTerra does these 2 to 3 times a year. So I wanted to mention quick about the BOGO today. But before I say that, you know, what I love about this week and what I see a lot of the leaders on our team talking about is just how great it feels to just help people in this way and get connected to these tools that are going to change their life and create more happiness and more health in their home and more connection to themselves. It just feels so good to help people in this way. And for a lot of people, this week represents, this week it represents the first step in a life-changing journey. And it might not have happened if there wasn't this sale, because we know that sales obviously draw us in, that kind of marketing to get our attention. And so, you know, the last couple years we've seen, I mean, even on our team, we have about 50,000 people in 4 years that have gotten started with the oils. A lot of those people got started during a BOGO week because it just encourages them to put themselves first in their life when they might have gone and spent that money at Starbucks, right? So it's a great week. It's super awesome. On our team, we'll end up putting about 50,000 bottles into people's homes this week. It's pretty nuts. Just yesterday, we did just under 10,000 BOGOs in one day. Like insane, right? So fun. The energy is high. We're creating lots of magic around the BOGOs this week. If you're not involved in some sort of a BOGO sharing group, then I do have one if you're not already working with somebody. So if you actually go over to, where can you find it really quick? If you go to the Getting Started section on my website, so it's a bit.ly, I'll have Jill post it. It's basically bit.ly/HF Oils WC. And if you, the link will show up on Facebook right now, but if you click through there, there'll be a link for you to join our Whole Fit exclusive group this week, where I have lots of fun posts going up. But today's oils, so here's the BOGO today real quick, and then we're going to dive into the show. Today's BOGO is buy an Aroma Touch blend, get a marjoram free. Okay, so you can actually purchase up to 5 BOGOs per household. Aroma Touch blend is truly one of my most treasured blends, and we actually call this massage in a bottle. So if you haven't tried this blend before, you'll notice that it's expertly crafted with, I think it has about 6 different essential oils in it. The main oils you'll smell right away are peppermint and marjoram. But the actual, here, I'll just go through the quick rundown. So it has cypress, peppermint, marjoram, basil. You do pick up quite a bit of the basil as well. Grapefruit and lavender. So massage in a bottle, one of the rituals I implemented about a year ago was to start having a massage once a week. And I take this with me to my treatment. And I'll either ask the RMT to apply it when they're doing the massage, or I'll put it on after. And I mean, I didn't always have a routine like that. That's something that I wanted to give to myself, because at the end of the day, you are always going to spend your money on something, right? So if you decide to implement things in your week and with what you're investing in, your health and your well-being is one of the greatest high impact focuses in your life. It's going to affect everybody in your life in a big way if you give to yourself in that way. So this oil today, Aroma Touch, might just encourage you to start looking at that in your own schedule. Maybe you start with once a month and you bring this. But the cool thing with this is you can actually just apply a couple drops to your hand, take a little bit of a carrier oil, like a coconut oil, and massage into your neck. And it really is just like a massage in a bottle. It's incredibly calming and soothing and just nurturing, really. I mentioned Chris has been using it this week. I love to use it with my kids and give them a little back massage with it if their systems are starting to feel a little bit run down. It's my favorite blend to add to doTerra's unfragranced body lotion because it's like invigorating and calming at the same time. So I'll add a couple of drops to that in the morning after I've showered or whatever. It's also good for kids with growing pains too. Sometimes we'll talk about Deep Blue as a great blend for that, but Aroma Touch just feels, again, really soothing on the skin. And that's mostly because of the marjoram that's in it. The peppermint in it is a driver. The lavender is calming, so it helps to boost the calming effects of the constituents in the marjoram. But marjoram specifically is what you're going to get free today only. What's the date today? Wednesday, February 21st. Buy an Aroma Touch, get a marjoram free. And marjoram, you guys, I know a lot of you don't have this because it's not a top 10 oil we talk about. It's an uncommon oil for most homes to have, but you are going to fall in love with this, okay? This oil, come here and tell me what this reminds you of. What are some keywords that come to mind? There's no right answer. I just want to get your opinion.
Talk about being put on the spot.
All day today.
It's got to be, it's like woods,
yes.
Woodsy.
That was one of my words. It's very woodsy. It's very herbaceous. Obviously, marjoram being an herb, this will replace having marjoram in your kitchen for any recipes. So I love to add this to different meat recipes or even in salads because the herbaceous quality of it is just, it's like intoxicating. I love it.
Yes, if anyone's ever like chopped wood like I do in the forest on a daily basis, that's exactly the smell that you will smell. Definitely like a chopping wood sort of thing. So.
Okay, moving on. Marjoram is very soothing. So again, it's in the Aroma Touch blend, but you will love this with lavender in your Epsom salt bath. So here's, for those of you that are ordering this today, what I want you to try is experimenting with Aroma Touch. If you have any kind of tension going on, use this in the lotion or in coconut oil in the mornings. Very invigorating and calming. At night, add 2 to 3 drops of marjoram to a big cup of Epsom salts with 2 to 3 drops of lavender, okay? And then toss that in the bath. You can add a little bit of coconut oil to that to help the oils disperse properly in the water. And it's so soothing for muscle aches and stiffness. It's going to alleviate any kind of temporary discomfort that you have. And you'll love this just for the aroma of it. Again, it's super intoxicating. And one of the things I'm going to share over on Instagram today is a DIY dry shampoo recipe, ladies. And I use marjoram in my dry shampoo because, again, I love the aroma of it and it's really cleansing and calming for the scalp. So I'll show you this really quick. You guys, this is the easiest DIY you'll ever make. And this is what I use like 2 to 3 times a week. So I have some highlights scattered through my hair, right? And this dry shampoo helps to pull out and lighten my blonde a little bit more. It works so good. You won't believe how well this works. So in a little tin, I like using a tin, and I'll show you how I apply it, but a little tin with a lid. All you're going to do is add about a good tablespoon of either arrowroot powder or cornstarch. And then you're going to add a couple drops of marjoram, lavender, and peppermint. And then add another scoop of your cornstarch or arrowroot and then just stir it around, mix it up nice. The smell is so beautiful. It actually will remind you, if you guys have used doTerra's herbal hair serum, you'll notice it smells a lot like what I'm talking about right now because the hair serum has marjoram in it. Then here's how you do it. You grab a makeup brush. You might want to keep one just for this application. This might get a little messy. I got to do it though. So you're just going to dab your makeup brush into your new dry shampoo powder. Tap it a little bit on the lid so it's not like sprinkling all over the place. So this is like hair dust, right? And then you use your makeup brush. I'm going to try to do this like right on screen. And you can like pat it into your roots and watch what happens. This is live. How fun is this? And then look at that, like I could like get really dirty hair volume going on here. Having some grit in your hair is essential if you're going to be curling it. So I love to like run I love like the beach wave look, right? I'll do a video on this probably in a month or two. I'm going to do a whole series on natural skincare, beauty. Got a lot planned for you guys. Anyway, so with this, you want to make it a little bit like press it into the roots so it gets nice and gritty. And then if you're going to curl it, like I like to do for beach waves, you would grab your curling iron. Once you get this powder in here and it's getting gritty, and you hold your barrel downwards and then you wrap away from your face. Okay? That's what I do. If you've ever want to know, that's what I do. And this works so well. So I wash my hair once a week with doTerra's shampoo and conditioner. And this is like the easiest DIY. So if you're getting the BOGO today, that's a great use for your marjoram. You will love the aromatics of marjoram. It is beautiful. All right, you going to join me? We going to do this? You're going to sit over there for the broadcast? Oh, yes. Sorry, I meant to mention, and I'll show this in the Instagram video I do today. Jill, if you could post my Instagram link for those of you that aren't on there, obviously, Insta Live, you will see it. So for darker hair, you're just going to use a simple cacao powder or cocoa powder, whatever you have in your home. You'll add a little bit until the mixture gets to the point that it matches close to your hair. So it will work pretty well. Actually, I should have made one up for your hair because your hair is like basically black with a little bit of gray. We should see if this is, I'm going to work on something for you. Yes, I am. Let's see if we can come up. That would sell well.
As long as it doesn't come in a box, I'll do it.
Oh, like hair dye?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I think that's it.
That totally threw you off.
I'm like, what? Okay. Let's get to it today. So we grabbed questions from the queue. There were actually quite a few business questions regarding doing a doTerra business, and then there were a whole group of great health questions. So I'm actually going to take the health questions as more of a focused theme next week, and you're working next week, so that'll be a good week for me to take on my own. So today we're going to go through 4 or 5 questions that you guys added to the queue. You can see up on Facebook, I've got the link if you want to add a question or a topic suggestion for a future show. There's the bit.ly linked up there. Instagram, it's a bit.ly / sorry, wrong link up there. To submit a question, it's a bit.ly / WholeFitQ. If you want to subscribe to the podcast, that's what you guys see over on Facebook. That's bit.ly / WholeFitTalks, okay? All right, so let's go through these questions that we have. I haven't shown these to you yet. You are like super on the spot today. Okay, here we go. Question 1. I listened to your episode on not wasting any time. And I definitely know that I'm not living out my passion each day, and I feel like I am wasting time. I don't love my day job, but need it to pay the bills. How do I make that next step? I'm currently an elite with doTerra, but I feel stuck. And I don't know if it's fear holding me back or if I really don't have the right drive for this business. I love the oils, but struggle with speaking to people about them, especially people I don't know. Okay, so this is a great question because a lot of you have been here before or are there right now. The cool thing is this person mentioned that they have a full-time job that is like kind of sucking their soul right now. Like they really feel like they're not living their purpose, and that is a really heavy feeling, mostly for people who do not have a way out. Okay, so a lot of people today sense that the business world is changing, right? We know that this corporate 9 to 5, 40 years of your life, 40 hours a week thing is going away. If you haven't heard that yet, you need to understand whatever you're in right now, you are very replaceable. The whole landscape is changing. So what I do want to focus on with this question, she mentioned she's an elite leader in doTerra, which means she has an incredible opportunity right there to build and create a life that feels amazing for her and to serve people in a very meaningful way and start to tap into her passion and live her purpose. That is available to you in doTerra through this business, okay? So the key thing here is this person is resisting growing her doTerra business, even though she's in this 9 to 5 that's sucking her dry. So great that this person got to elite rank. Elite rank is kind of the first initial rank in doTerra. You have about 3,000 volume of in your community monthly. Okay, you've built a little community that purchased about 3,000 volume worth of oils in 1 month. That's an elite rank. Now, you don't just get to elite. I mean, that means this person has been teaching some classes and loves sharing the oils. But for those of you that know where I'm going here, why does somebody stay stuck at elite? What's the belief level or the mindset of somebody who gets to elite? They love their oils, right? They love sharing them with people. They've had friends and family who have been helped by the oils. That feels good. It feels so good to help people in this way. So you have classes and you get to elite, and then you get stuck because there's a new belief level that needs to come in to go to the next rank of premier. And premier leaders, what we know about somebody who's a premier leader is rather than just having some classes here and there and helping people get started with oils, they start to attract people to what they're doing that want to do this with them. So to go from elite to premier, you now have 2 leaders who have joined you and want to do what you're doing. And in order for that to happen, you've got to come to life when you're talking about the business, right? That does not mean, I mean, this could be a whole topic, right, for this show, how to build this business and how not to build this business. But here's the key point I want to make. You will not attract people into the work that you're doing if what you're doing feels flat. And if you are not bringing your passion and your magic to what you're doing. Why in the world would anybody want to join you in what you're doing? Why would anybody want to join you as a guide or a leader in doTerra if you're talking about the oils some of the time? Or if you're complaining about your life all of the time? Or if you tend to be the person who just sits back and watches everybody else and you don't step into your own life? This is your time to start making baby steps towards that. And it doesn't feel normal to do it. And that's the point. You have to start showing up in your life and bring your message to life in your business, because you were all attracted to this work. If you're building doTerra and you're at elite rank right now and you're stuck and you have a big why, you want to leave that 9-to-5 job, what is that going to require? Chris? What does it require of you when you're saying things like, my soul is dying in my job, I'm elite in doTerra, but I feel stuck? What's happening or not happening?
Well, I think the big...
You don't have to, I don't think
it's a habit. I think the biggest thing is, first of all, good for you for writing this question in, because that right there shows that you're ready to move on and move to the next level of your business in your life. Again, right now, my suggestion would be is that you need to carve out time to concentrate just on this business alone. You need to carve out time somehow or some way in the 24 hours that you have between your regular job and the job that you want to do for the rest of your life, and really buckle down, make no excuses, do whatever you need to do to make sure that you have that time to get that job done. Mm-hmm. Which means, I don't know, I obviously don't know your situation, married, single, kids, whatever, age, doesn't matter. You need to find a way to maximize the amount of time you have into turning this into a lifestyle, into a business that you want. Because again, if you just keep telling yourself that you're stuck in this 9-to-5 way of living and everything else, then you're never going to leave it. You'll never, ever get out of that cycle. And the only thing holding you back right now is, I mean, don't take this the wrong way, is you have that excuse to fall back on that. Well, I got a 9-to-5 job, but it's sucking the life out of me and everything else.
Oh, well, man, it's just so easy to stay there.
Exactly. And so when you get home, what you need to do is clear yourself a path into go home, brainstorm, and say, how am I going to make this work? Where's the time going to be? Whether that be getting up early in the morning and giving yourself an hour and a half or 2 hours to focus on your business and brainstorm of the stuff that you're going to do at night when you get home, or, you know, it's going to be late nights. Everyone who reaches a certain rank in this world has had those late nights, and you're just going to have to suck it up and do it.
But here's the thing, your heart will pull you to do the work, because there has to be a season, and this season could last a couple of years, to be honest.
Yep.
There has to be a season where you are giving without expectation, where you are showing up to serve people and just live and lead and learn and share without any expectation of getting anything back for doing it. There has to be a push season of that. And I regardless of who you're looking at, like, I'll use myself as an example. To somebody brand new in this business, they might look at my level in doTerra as a presidential diamond. They might look at what I've created or accomplished and think, oh, I could never do that. So why even bother? But what you don't even know, and I want you to understand, is I'm just getting started. I am no different than anyone who's just starting doTerra, because the work that I'm doing 10 years from now will be because of what I'm putting in right now in this season. I am still so committed to moving this movement forward and sharing so that everybody has the opportunity to at least choose. That's what I want for people.
Sorry, can I just say something too? I just thought of it when you were talking about this. If you're doing this and you're going to push and make this happen and everything else, have fun doing it. Because when you were just talking about being the rank that you're at and everything else like that, you had fun doing it.
I still,
so this is actually a fun job. Like, it's a fun job to have. So, I mean, everyone kind of looks at it like, oh, you're going to have to grind it out, and you're going to have to make sure that you put the hard work in and everything else to get the end of the rainbow. Well, this is the kind of job that's kind of fun to do anyways. So enjoy it. Enjoy the ride.
Well, it induces fear, though.
Well,
because the thing is, it's just so easy to go into a job that you hate and have your little list of what you got to do today, so you can get the gold star from your boss. There's not a lot required to be an employee. But
you're your own boss here, and you can do whatever.
I know, but that scares people. That's the thing. But no,
but if someone's willing to do, if they're at this point right now, they know that they have to do the things that they have to do. They're their own boss. They understand that right from the beginning, right? So have fun doing it. I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying about the fear of everything else like that. And like with Jackie, I just saw in here, Jackie said, like, she used her job as a motivation to move on. Like, she used that to light her fire, she said. And again, like, a lot of talk, we always talk on here about like I said, like, putting in the hard work and doing everything else. Like, I just realized, like, just watching you go through what you did, like, even at every little rank you had and every step, every little small thing was a victory for you, and you had fun doing it. Oh. Like, you had fun doing it, and you still have fun doing it. So,
there are times I wish I could go back to the beginning, because it was so
and that's the one thing
new
you
and
can
exciting.
Always look. You can always look at it as like, hey, well, at least I'm having fun doing it. I'm meeting people. I'm putting myself out there. If anything, it's just going to give you confidence to put yourself out there and talk to people more and be more personable. And especially in the world we live in, no one talks to anyone today, right? But now you're putting yourself out there. You're becoming something that a lot of people aren't these days. You're a personable, good person. You're out there in the world and you're talking to people, and you'll pick up things along the way. So just have fun.
You just reminded me, just with what you just said there, about what the world is starving for. Something to understand with doTerra, guys. For those of you building this doTerra business, in my opinion, the world is starving for what is being created through this business. Connection, empowerment, self-direction in their healthcare, community.
Accountability.
Yeah, accountability. Yes and no. What do you mean by that? Like, within a team?
Well, exactly. Like, not just within a team, like, everyone has to kind of be held accountable, but you're taking personal accountability yourself. You're monitoring yourself.
Yeah.
Right? You're monitoring your health. You're monitoring your business. You're monitoring the way you live. Like, it's it all kind of works in together. Right?
Absolutely.
Maybe I should do something. Yeah. Like,
it just feels, it feels so right to be able to walk out a lifestyle that moves you into a higher level of living and higher level of health, and be able to share that gift with other people. Something I want to just comment on that Susan shared over on Instagram, which is a beautiful way to make the switch for this person who's stuck in their business. She said, you know, when we're stuck, it requires us to stop thinking of ourselves and start making all of our actions about serving other people. That's a really, I just love that so much, because even when you think about fear, okay, when you think about times when you have fear about doing something, and this person said, you know, I don't know why I can't seem to just, you know, buckle down and make it happen. She loves the oils, but struggles speaking to people about them. Fear is actually just selfish, right? We get so obsessed with our own narrative about what other people are going to think. And so we hold back. And I've said this before, but thank goodness that the girl who introduced me to doTerra didn't quit on me after the first time she shared the oils with me. I was busy. I had a lot on my plate. I had a lot of people sending me product all the time. She took the time to build a relationship with me, and I'm so grateful for that. And so I'm so glad she wasn't selfish and afraid to keep connecting with me. So whatever, you know, lands for you guys, just, I love what Susan said, because when you're stuck in something, it's because you're obsessively thinking about all the reasons why you shouldn't grow, or you know, what people are going to think, or what they're going to say, or all those questions that start to come up. And that's never the truth. That's never reality. It's just your way of staying stuck. So, you know, think about that. And the key thing, if you're not in doTerra, let's say you have another wildly awesome opportunity out there to build something for yourself and your family. What are you waiting for? The game is changing. The world is changing like yesterday. And all of the excuses you have right now about not going after it, not creating your dream life and a beautiful, conscious, meaningful business in our world today, your neighbor is going to come along and do it. She'll double down and do it when you didn't, because it's that good. When you have an opportunity to create abundance and health and everything good that comes through. I mean, I'm only familiar with doTerra, obviously, but if you have something else that does that, what are you doing? What are you waiting for? What are you waiting? Like, you know, this whole thing is going to keep moving, and everybody that you think might respond to you in a negative way, chances are those are the very people that need you to show up and share with them. And yes, their first response might be negativity, but guess what? It's because you're a mirror. You're a mirror for them. They needed you to show up, and they will come around and they will be back. So don't sabotage yourself anymore. And if you need to start creating pockets of time for yourself so you can make this happen and get that spin wheel going so that momentum is on your side, that's up to you. It is your responsibility to create your success here. Everybody's busy, you guys. Everybody has kids or a 9-to-5 or whatever. Parents they're taking care of. We all have a lot on our plate today. But when you have the opportunity to create change for yourself, change for your family. I mean, if you do nothing different today, hearing these words, you are going to be right where you are today, or even more backwards next year at this time. Everything you do today, when you have a message that hits your heart, and you know it's time to like buckle up, be your own boss, work harder for yourself than you are right now for that guy that doesn't care about you at the office, that would replace you in a heartbeat. If you work harder for yourself right now in whatever is exciting you and creates that opportunity for you, you are going to be living a completely different life next year at this time. You will not believe how much this journey will change your life. And in doTerra specifically, this business will take care of you and your family and your children's children's children for the rest of your life. Okay? If you stay at it. Every time, okay, one message I posted, and then I'm going to go to the next question. I wrote to my team the night before this week started to let them know this week is going to be bananas. You're going to see people coming out of everywhere to start their lifestyle with doTerra, to purchase their first little, whether it's just the BOGO or they get their first little kit of oils in their home. You're going to see people coming out left and right to start this journey. And if you don't show up for them, if you don't create magic around your message this week, there is some deep self-sabotage happening, because this would be the easiest week ever for you to connect and serve and love on people. And if you're not doing that, you need to unpack that. You need to get to know yourself, because you are the one who's always telling the story about how this is hard and nothing works for you and nobody cares about what you're sharing. Those stories are on repeat, okay, in your mind. So, take a look at how you're showing up this week. The energy that you're bringing to this week is what you're going to be experiencing a lot more of this coming year. You want abundance, you want growth, you want to help more people, show up this week. Take off all those things on your calendar that shouldn't be on there. Okay? Take off all those Starbucks dates that you're going on with your friend and you're gossiping, or whatever whatever is keeping you stuck, okay? Take off those after work commitments. Stop spending time with people that are keeping you stuck where they are. Take it off your calendar. Like, do it right now. Go look at your calendar. What needs to come off of your calendar this week, so you can make room to get out there and share? Great question. Okay. Second question. What is by far your greatest income producing activity? Was it different at different ranks? Could you give examples? Okay. Yes. Different at different ranks, right? So the first thing I'll say is, when you're first starting your business in doTerra, for the first year or two, it is all about momentum. That is your best friend. That is your teammate. Okay. Momentum is all you have in the beginning. So if you right now are scheduling a class, maybe here, maybe there, you cancel when only one person shows up, and then, you just got everything sporadic because you're basically doing doTerra as a hobby. That's not going to work. You need to pick a time to do this for real and get out there and teach your little heart out and share. Now, this might be classes, this might be one-on-ones, whatever your jam is. In my first 2 years in doTerra, I taught an average of 2 to 3 classes a week, you guys. That took a lot of different forms. Sometimes it was webinars. Sometimes it was one-on-one coffee dates at Starbucks. Sometimes it was actual home classes, going out and teaching for anybody and everybody who wanted to learn about the oils. I would show up. And yes, it was busy. And yes, it was a lot of work. But what business isn't in the beginning? I mean, I was building my brand for 5 years before doTerra, and it was a lot of late nights and a lot of early mornings and a lot of just innovating as I went and trying to learn and then share, and just constant, right? Like, you have to be prepared for a season where you get momentum on your side, okay? So that is number one. That will always be the best thing to do in your business. Jill, I'd like you to post in the comments over on Facebook the 6 daily questions. I imagine by now you could Google doTerra 6 daily questions and an image might come up. But if not, I will post the 6 daily questions on the coaching tools page of my website, because they are that helpful, okay? These are 6 questions to ask yourself every day in your business to steer you in the direction of income producing activities, okay? Now, that sounds like really network marketing gross. Income producing activities. But here's the deal. There are hundreds of things you could do when you tell yourself you're going to work on doTerra right now for an hour, okay? You could make pretty websites. You could make pretty pictures to share online. You could create sponsored ads. You could set up a class. You could do, you could organize your oil bottles. You could sticker them. You could play around your office, and then that hour goes by and nothing happens in your business. In the beginning of your business, the most important thing is that you're helping people. You're connecting with people. You're helping them get started. when you start to get going and you've taught your first class, that first class will actually feed your entire business, okay? It will, because if done properly, it will line up your next class, and you always book a class off of a class. And when you've taught to 5 or 6 people, you now have 5 to 6 people who you can continue to nurture that relationship with and check in every couple of weeks. Because here's the deal. When somebody comes out to an essential oil class that you're hosting, they, number one, there's an area of their life they are really hoping the oils are going to help solve for them. And that's why they've shown up. Number two, they've come to your class because they want to get oils into their home. If you bring a whole bunch of weird energy to that class and you keep it, your class is too long and you make it really awkward for people to get started, like you talk about a million different ways they could start and confuse them and overwhelm them, they're going to leave that class annoyed. Like they've just wasted an hour or 2 hours or however long your class went. You want to become, again, coming from a heart of service, honor people's time, honor why they're there. They're there because there's an area, there's a pain point in their life they want to solve with oils, and they want to purchase oils. They want to get the oils into their home. Okay? So if you have people who do not get started that night, just keep nurturing that relationship with them. Okay? Sending them webinars, send them, a link to your next class so they can join you. Maybe you do a Facebook class. There are always things you can do to keep sharing and connecting and serving people. Do not waste your time in the beginning of your business building websites and creating, all these pretty pictures to share online. That kind of stuff is great, but that's going to create a business that takes 3 times as long to build. So it really depends on how much time you have. So Jill just posted those 6 questions in the comments. We will post that image on the coaching tools section. But after, beyond the actual things you should do to bring income in to your business, the most important thing is that you're living and loving your life with oils, like how you share them, committing to learning every day. Go to doTerra's blog. You guys, like, this is when I think back to when I first started, I get like, just warm and fuzzy thinking about when we first started, because I loved that feeling of like, oh my gosh, there is so much to learn. There are so many things I can impact in my home. I don't even know where to start first, but I started, and I would make a new DIY every week. And then I would share that online. I would learn, I would do, and I would share. Learn, do, share constantly. As I was learning, I loved being new to this journey. I miss that, which is why I'm a learner. I'm a student of life. I love to keep learning and developing myself. But I love those early days with the oils and learning different recipes and kind of attending essential oil school. If you guys go to doTerra.com and you search through the modules and you start learning, share that with people. That is what brings the magic to your business. That is what attracts people to the work that you're doing, because they can see that you love your life. You love what you're doing. Okay? So live it and love it. Be a student of your oils every day, because the product you work with is changing lives. It is needed. It is absolutely needed right now. Jennifer asked, what do you do when they don't respond? So what? So what? If somebody doesn't respond to you, if they don't get back to you, keep reaching out to them every couple of weeks. There's a lot of people that I don't have time to respond to. And I'm not saying that's why people aren't responding, but the reality is people are very busy in their life. And so you want to stay in their radar, because there will come a time when it is the perfect time for them. We have so many different pain points in our life today, right? So what if that little message from you came into a mother's inbox the day after she was up all night with her child? And there's a lot of other, things we could open up there that she'd want to use oils for with her child who was maybe not feeling well. But that very connection from you, just to say, hey, I was thinking about you. How's life? I was watching this webinar the other night about using oils with kids, and I thought of you. I thought I'd just send it your way. Hope you're doing well. That message at the right time on the right day is why that woman will put herself first for once in a long time. Ange Dodge just wrote, she just had someone reach out after 2 years. Same experience over here. I have people now that I've been talking to about oils who this week, because of BOGOs, are getting started, and I talked to them 4 years ago. So everyone will have their time. Don't give up on people. Don't give up on people. That wait until they say, hey, I'd like to never hear from you again. Because they will. Okay, question 3. Can you please discuss how to overcome the fear of success? Oh, okay, cool. So we kind of talked about how fear is actually, it's actually selfish in its root, because we get so obsessed with all the reasons why we shouldn't do something rather than focusing on service and love, okay? So this is a huge barrier for people. And I guess, you know what? Let's just say this. It's never going to go away. It is never going to be something that you don't have if you are somebody who's committed to being your best every day, to growing personally, physically, mentally, in your mindset. There's always going to be things that give you that little bit of fear, because as you rise, okay, as you start to increase in how you're showing up in the world and in your impact and influence, you're going to start to draw the eyes of 2 types of people, okay? You're going to start triggering a lot more people. So you will start to get a lot more of that negativity that coming at you, because through the very act of you being successful, you're going to draw that kind of attention. And everyone who is successful has gone before you in this. Daily, there are people out there seeking to tear down people who are being a light in our world. But the other set of eyes that you're going to attract on your life are people who are going to present you with opportunities to continue to show up and be bigger. So for some of you in doTerra, this might be somebody in your upline, maybe a diamond leader or above, who says to you, and maybe let's say you're like a new silver leader, and they say to you, hey, I've been watching your journey and your growth, and I just want to say, like, I think you're amazing. I'd love to see you start doing weekly calls with your team, and I'd be happy to join you on them. Or maybe you're a diamond leader who's been kind of like hiding out, not really showing up and being visible in your business, and somebody reaches out to you and asks you to come speak on a stage at an event, and that just freaks you out, right? But the thing is, when you say yes to these things that you know are for you, they're there for your growth, you come out of that experience a completely different person. You learn what you're capable of. And yes, you're going to be on stage and, freaking out a little bit aside. And, it really is about just honoring that this is all part of the growth game. That fear will never go away. But the shadow of trying to not have any fear in your life is living a life that is just so flat, that is not your purpose, is not your passion. And that is a much scarier feeling than fear, right? So we're always choosing one or the other. And you work with it. You work with that fear, knowing it's never going to go away, right? What's giving you fear right now? Being put on the spot in this podcast? Why aren't you joining me?
Because you're doing such a good job, and I can't, I can stand here and look half decent, but I was just relaxing.
You're beautiful.
Yeah. Go ahead. Keep going. You're
okay. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let's just think practically. You guys get an alarm. You're heading into like what do you call it? A 5-alarm?
Yeah.
That was good, eh?
Yeah, pretty good.
A 5-alarm fire. So how do you work with fear in situations where it's being induced like so fast you can't even think about it?
Within like 4 minutes of fear.
Right.
That's about the time it would take us to get to somewhere that we have to be there.
You have no time to think about it, right?
myself and everyone I know is a huge motivator. It makes you, I've said it before, like it makes your brain dial in to so many little things that it's almost like if you could manufacture it as a drug, it would be like that movie Limitless, where you get such tunnel vision, but it's not tunnel vision that's bad. It's tunnel vision that you're just like, it's just like little pops in your brain where you're thinking of like the things that you need to do, the things that may be there when you get there, and the things that may go wrong. And it's almost like this perfect culmination of like, okay, I know what I need to do here, and I'm not going to fail. We're not going to fail. And it's like, basically we're just going to get in, kick some ass, and get out and clean up, and let's get back to it again. And it's such a big, it's like I said, it's such a big motivator. And there's that first like 25 seconds of like, oh, your gut, you're starting to sweat. You feel that sweat a little bit, like that cold sweat. But then you kind of look around, you see like, who's around me? And you're like, well, these guys aren't going to let themselves down. They're not going to let me down. We're just going to go in there and crush it. And it's not a big deal. And and all the time it works. Like, so basically, yeah, it's just such a big motivator to do a wicked job, you know?
Yeah. And I was thinking as you were saying that, focus on what you know you can do in that moment, right? Like I was picturing somebody who is getting up to teach their very first class. And they have a lot of fear around how it's going to go. And what if people ask things I don't know, right? And it's like that window right before you're about to step up and welcome everybody. But if in that moment you remind yourself, I'm here to help. You know, I know how I can help these people. Just like you running into a building, you all have your different roles in that situation.
It's a game plan. That 4 minutes you're going to a call or whatever like that, in your head, you're running a game plan. And like you said, if you're someone that's stepping on stage, have a game plan. Don't deviate from it because you think someone else might want to hear what you have to say or what the right thing to say is. Own that game plan. And it's the same as us. Like, we have a game plan for what we need to do. And just because something else comes on or someone else is coming that you think like, oh, we better act this way around them, don't ever deviate from that. Have the confidence in yourself and have the confidence in your team to know that, you know what, we got a good thing going here. We're not going to deviate from that at all. And that's what it takes to get something done. So if you're someone that has fear or whatever like that, own that fear, use it for yourself, have a game plan, and just use that. Don't deviate from it because you're worrying about keeping someone else's ideas happy or fresh or whatever like that. That's
I love that. Robin says she's listening to The Subtle Art of Beep, and he talks about how we usually wait for inspiration to create motivation to create action. What if we started with action first? Oh, yeah. Action builds confidence in the presence of fear, right? That's what moves you into courage, is just getting into action. One of the things I love to do when I'm about to do something that gives me fear, like speaking on a stage to thousands of people, let's say, the prep for that starts months prior. Okay. Being prepared to speak is important. So for some of you getting ready to teach your first class, it's preparing the content, right? It's sitting with it. It's knowing it and being confident about what you're going to teach and know that you're in control of that, just as if you were going to speak on a stage. But then once I feel prepared with how that's going to flow, framework, right? Not stuck on having to say everything exactly that way, but a general flow. Then I spend time, weeks out, visualizing myself on that stage or teaching that class. What's the energy I want to bring to that room? How do I want to serve who's in front of me? What does that look like? What does it feel like? And I picture myself doing it. I picture what I'm wearing. I picture the energy in that room and what I'm looking to create. And then that's what helps me own that stage or own that class, is I am clear on what it's going to feel like, what I'm going to share with them, and that I am in control. Okay. My mom just shared on Instagram that my pa, who he used to speak to huge stages of huge groups of people. He used to preach. He preached in the largest church in Seoul, Korea, to hundreds of thousands of people. And my mom just said that he used to visualize that he was speaking to just one person, even if there were 100,000 in the room. Your passion creates the atmosphere to melt that fear. I love that. So fun to have you on, Mom. So anyway, just to close out that topic of that with the fear is, number one, it never goes away. But when you can melt, you will diffuse that fear if you come from a place of love and service, always. Just focus on that one person in the room, or focus on what you can share today to serve and to love on people, because that is the work you're doing in doTerra. I mean, the bottles take care of the rest, but your relationship with people and your heart and how you show up and serve and help them is what is the true work. So there's nothing you have to know more of. Just show up. Just be a kind, loving human to people, and your business will grow. I promise. Okay, 2 more real quick ones, and then we'll hop. Hi, Ange. You shared that you're doing 3 hours of mindset work per day. What mindset work do you recommend for me as I go from gold to diamond? And how many hours per week would be ideal? Thanks for rocking it out for us. Okay, so I talk about mindset training. This is just a fancy way of saying I develop my mind every day through podcasts or audiobooks. So here's the thing. What do you need to remove out of your schedule and replace with something that's going to condition your mind for success and health and happiness? I would highly recommend, if you're in this community, you're somebody passionate about living a full, beautiful life, stop watching the news, stop reading the newspaper. The second area to look at would be to stop scrolling so much, and start connecting more with people. Stop watching what everyone's doing and shift more into the actions of somebody connecting or uplifting their mind. So, replace what you're doing right now that's just kind of empty time. Maybe that's watching Netflix or things like just folding laundry or whatever, like where you could add in that training. Jill's going to post the link. I've posted this. I've talked about this in the past, but I have a library of recommended podcasts, resources, books based on what you're needing. Because here's the thing in this question. She asked, what should I read as I look to go from gold to diamond? I don't know this person's strengths. I don't know what they're wanting more of in their life or in their mindset. That's different for everybody. So you want to identify, when I think about a diamond leader, this is somebody who's moving into the role of influence. So when you think about being somebody who influences people, who is being efficient with their time so that their impact grows, so they can do more and impact more people with less time. You have to understand what are the various things that are going to fall apart within that theme, and that's what you want to develop in. So it's different for everybody.
Can I just add real quick too?
Yeah.
One of the biggest things is I notice that everyone these days seems to be like a motivational guru or a so-and-so life coach and everything else. Like if you're looking for someone to do this and follow and be motivated by, right? Because everyone looks for someone that they're motivated by and whatever. Don't get so bogged down in all these people. Like find 1 or 2 people or 1 or 2 methods that work for you. Like you said, like don't keep scrolling and looking for this, because I find a lot of people are always looking for motivation, and motivation is very easy to find. Just look on Facebook and look on Instagram or whatever. There's always going to be some health guru or someone there who's always willing to say like, I can help you, or look at me and look at the way I live, and find someone that you really relate to, that you look at their values and think, wow, they're a lot like me, or they kind of have that same mindset as myself, and stick to that. Don't get bogged down in 100 million audiobooks and a jillion podcasts. Myself, I listen to podcasts as well all the time. I only have about 3 that I listen to regularly, because there's so much out there that is so much more not my style, and I found like when I first started listening, like oh my God, like there's just so much information out there. So find about 2 or 3 things that really you relate to and just go with that and stop looking around every corner for some sort of motivation, because motivation is easy to find. It's the motivation that's going to help you get motivated that's what you want.
I just want to say bye to Insta. It's going to close out because it's been an hour. So I'm just going to finish up with one more question over here. But yeah, and here's the thing, the people that you're drawn to right now, you might not be drawn to next year. So be open to finding new people that guide you towards different ways of thinking. When you feel like things are a little bit stale, but I usually have quite a few audiobooks on the go, because sometimes I'll know what I need at the time and I go to that. But here's the thing. Okay. This is all I want to say about this. Be intentional with what you're feeding your mind. Don't, if you catch yourself doing a lot of browsing and looking at what everyone else is doing and it makes you feel gross and heavy and negative or whatever, know that about yourself and implement a new plan so you don't get going down in that rabbit hole. Definitely do not wake up in the morning and read the newspaper or watch the news. Like, I know we grew up with our parents doing that. You have to choose into a higher level of thinking, and it starts in the morning with what you're listening to. So maybe that's a simple shift for people, is just not going on and browsing what everyone else is doing in the morning, but actually do one podcast a day or one audiobook a day with whatever you're needing right now. If it's business or belief or money or leadership or health, maybe you're wanting to grow your knowledge of essential oils, like whatever you're needing right now, only you know. But that whole thing gets convoluted when you start looking at what everyone else is doing. You start to think, oh, she's doing that, so I need to learn about that, or he's doing this. And you've got to get quiet and really understand what you're needing right now for your business to go that next inch, or your life, right? Like right now, I'm on day 3 with thousands of people on our wellness team. We're doing the Essential 30 cleanse, which is basically doTerra's cleanse and restore kit. We'll put the link up if you guys want to check out the cleanse info. It's not open to other teams only because I do a lot of coaching within that group and giveaways, and it'd be impossible to open that up. But just so you know, it is basically the cleanse and restore kit. And there's a schedule that doTerra has if you want to do this cleanse. But my point is, during this month, after we get through this week of BOGOs, I'll shift more into this mindset, because this week it's all about showing up and serving our community around the oils. But this month during the cleanse is where I pour a lot of content and love and information to this group doing it. And for me to be in that space, guess what I'm listening to every single day? All of my favorite health podcasts, like who, Mark Hyman, Dave Asprey. Oh my gosh, I just can't even think of them all right now. But, Joe Rogan, he has great guests on his show that talk about health in a real way. So I fill my mindset with all of that. I'm not actually hyper focused right now on leadership content, but I'll move into that space in a couple of months when we're together with all of the leaders in doTerra, right? And that's the point, is you will constantly kind of ebb and flow through what you're needing, but you need to know what you're needing. Nobody else knows that for you. So I certainly can't stand here and say, read this book. Every one of you who's a gold looking to go diamond, read this book. Because it actually wouldn't matter what you read. It's kind of like what Chris said. Just pick something that you're needing right now and apply it. Listen to it consistently every day. Take action based on what you're being inspired to do. And then all of a sudden, you'll know that you've got this. And now you'll be attracted to learning about something else. You'll never know it all, right? Like you will never, I have a lot of info in my brain about oils and nutrition and exercise and leadership and belief level and impact and influence and abundance. I have a lot up here, but the point is, I can't focus on all of those themes in my life all the time. So when I know what I'm needing most, that's what I nurture more of to grow that mindset. That makes sense? So only you know, that's the key. Only you know what you need right now. And like Chris said, follow people that are inspiring you right now. Be prepared for those people to maybe not be inspiring you a year or two from now, because you'll change. You'll be a different person next year at this time. So the same people you're drawn to right now, they might not be serving you next year at this time. And that's okay. It takes a village. This is the coolest thing, like in doTerra land, there are so many leaders showing up and giving of their time and their resources. I mean, everywhere. And we're all so different. And so it's so fun that, you can hop on this show and we learn together and chat once a week. And next year at this time, what I share might not be working for you, So you just always want to tune in so you know what to tune into. That was good. Should I buy the website? Tune in so you know what to tune into.com. I'll have to make it an acronym probably. Hi, Keely. Keely, great example of this, right? You guys know Essentially Obsessed. She's on here right now. Inspiration is everywhere. But it's up to you to decide what you're going to pay attention to and what you're going to take action on. Okay? So that is the key. I didn't get to the last question, so I will move that to next week. So here's the deal. Next week we'll do Q&A. It's going to be a lot of health topics. There were some great questions about what we eat in our house in a typical day, what my thoughts are on things like intermittent fasting. I think there's a question in there about safety of oils through breastfeeding, things like that. So we'll take some more health-related questions next week. Hope you guys can join us. As always, if you want to add a topic suggestion or your question to the queue, I'll just type one more time what that is. It's a bit.ly/WholeFitQ. And be sure to join us over on iTunes, you guys. Saw last week, the podcast was number 20 of all health podcasts in the list of 100. So really cool to see these conversations coming into more homes. And I love this time with you. Thanks for your engagement. Thanks for those of you that joined live. Please head over to iTunes. You can leave a review on there. It helps more people find the show. And we'll be back next week. I guess I'll be on my own next week. Sad face. All right, you guys. Have a great day. You're dying.
I could talk for a little bit, and I could just feel it coming up.